Alright, hey guys, welcome to this week's video. This is the first week's video, of course, but, this is a new learning experience for everybody, and, we're gonna attempt to film this video. So, I had already talked about this topic on a podcast, and, if you know anything about Mac computers, sometimes they say that they store things when they really didn't. So, God only knows where that, whole 45-minute podcast went, which is lovely, so, so today we're going to be talking about, kind of how we respond to things a little bit differently when we have gifts, and, what these signs are if you have a gift. So really one of the first signs is being empathic. So it's the ability to sense and feel the feelings of others around you. So if someone's in a bad mood, then you can obviously tell. If the energy's a little bit heavy in a room, you can tell. If someone's in pain, you can tell. That was a big one. That's kind of how I started out with being empathic. I could definitely tell, see, feel when someone was in pain. So that was one of my biggest things, was being an empath, when I kind of figured out that I was gifted a little bit. So that's a really telltale sign that you are gifted. Number 2 on your list has a lot to do with being an empath. So if you are an energy radar, you can definitely feel who, what, where, when, why, what happened, what's going on, someone's in a bad mood, and you can change the mood in a room. You can be very big, bright, light. You can be a very negative influence. So with me, one of my biggest problems is that if I'm in a bad mood, you can tell. So the whole energy in the room and the atmosphere around me just changes. And it's very influential around the people of you. So you can either be a very great, influential, positive mood person, or you can be a negative, connoisseur. You can change this whole thing that you got going on in this, you can walk into a party and everybody will be in a bad mood after you get there. So, it's very dependent on you, but you can also detect that type of stuff. So it's, it's up to you whether, you're having a good day or a bad day. But, in all, you're definitely going to pick up on some good or bad vibes. Another one is waking up at certain times. So I know that this whole thing went around on social media about waking up at 3 to 4 a.m. being the devil's hour, the witch's hour, or, whatever's going on. Well, sorry to break it to you, but not everybody is a witch. Not everybody spiritual is a witch. I definitely work with witchcraft and making natural things and whatnot. But the reason why it's called the witching hour is because it's a very important time in spiritual communication and connection. So, if you are waking up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, it's because, for one, you're gifted and your people are trying to communicate with you. Really, to give a good example, there's basically from what I know, there's like 2 universes, okay? So, you have, us, we're over here, this is our universe, and then we have the spiritual universe. These are our people who have passed, these are your loved ones, your spirit guardians, your guardian angels, your angels, this is whoever, right? But in the middle of our 2 worlds, there's a divider, right? And someone like me, who is, extremely gifted, can communicate, connect with all those different things. We kind of sit on that line, but someone who's not connected as much as I am, or anybody who's gifted is, they are over here, right? They're gone. Like, they don't want nothing to do with it. Like, they kind of just chill over here, which is okay. Like, it's perfectly fine. But that's why they don't experience as much coincidences, or they overlook it, or they suppress their gift. But someone like me will sit on that divider line, and our spirits and our guardian angels, whoever, can come meet me on that line in between our 2 universes, and that's how I communicate with them. Now, I could also trance, good meditation, and go over to their end, and we can communicate like that. But at 3 to 4 a.m., you know, while you're sleeping, if you're way over on our side, right, and you go to bed. Now, there's no outside sources for you to suppress that gift. So basically, you kind of go into a trance, right? So yourself kind of floats, right? This is you over onto that line, okay? Well, now you're on the line, right? You're not going to totally go over it, right? Because you're not totally trancing and whatnot. But you're right on that line. You're in that realm of where people can connect with you. So if you're sitting on that line, and, you know, Grandma, she's like, oh, there's Darien, right? Boom. Because that time is so powerful, we can connect in that time. So it's very good for, you know, energy activity and things of that nature. So that's why 3 to 4 a.m. you're going to wake up, because for one, you have visitors. For two, it's a very powerful time, and that energy is just going to be radiating off of you. You know, you're going to be an energy radiator. You're going to be pulsating with energy at that time. So it's a very important time, not only for you, but for your spiritual well-being, your spiritual development. 3 to 4 a.m. is when I do some of my best work. Now, right now, it's 8:22, but normally when I'm working with crystals, working on clientele lists, herbage, herbal remedies, things like that, I'm normally doing it around that time. And normally after that time hits, I'm good to go to bed. And what time you wake up also has a lot of meaning of, you know, number-wise. So, you know, if you're waking up at 3:33 in the morning, you know, you got to look up what that number means. So, you know, depending on what time you wake up, but 3 to 4 a.m. is definitely that time when you wake up in your most powerful being. So that's why you're going to wake up at 3 to 4 a.m. Now, our next thing, which I believe that we're on 1, 2, 3, our fourth thing, is attracting strangers. So, you know, this doesn't mean that you're going to walk along the side of the road and, you know, have someone randomly pop up and be your best friend. No, but you're definitely going to attract new people to give you that cycle in life, that new learning curve. You're meant to heal them because, you know, if you're gifted, you're brought on this world for a purpose. So, you know, everybody has a gift. Some people's gifts are to heal. Some people's gifts are to sing. Some people's gifts are to take care of their family. There are some wonderful people who are great at taking care of their family, and that's the only thing that they want to do. That's their gift. There are some people who are great at singing. Just some people who aren't born with that natural gift. There are some people who are just naturally born with being able to draw. For people like us, if you're watching this video, then 10 to 1, you've probably experienced some of these things. Our gift is to heal. Our gift is to, you know, make things resonate with other people. So, attracting strangers, you know, if, you know, you have a boyfriend or something and, you know, it's not really going well, and he just kind of popped up out of nowhere, and you're trying to change him, or you think that you can, that's part of your cycle, okay? It's part of your cycle. Part of your cycle in this part of your life is to help fix him. That's what you're meant to do on this earth. Now, whether you're meant to fix one person, or, you know, meant to help them move along to their next chapter, or whatever's going on, you're attracting that stranger. You're attracting them because you're meant to help them, okay? Now, the next thing is, for me, changing the weather is like a biggie. If I wake up in a shit mood, you best believe that day is going to be really shitty. If I wake up in a shit mood, it's already raining, it's already snowing, it's icing, it's hailing. If I wake up in a good mood, 70 degrees, and it's really sunny outside. Well, I take that back. It's not always 70 degrees, because I do live in New York, and, you know, there's different weathers and whatnot, but it's as nice as it possibly can be. The sun is shining, you know, it's just going to be a good day. But if I'm, and, you know, it changes upon, you know, what my mood is. If I certainly become grumpy, then it starts raining. If I wake up and it's bad outside, and then I suddenly, like, get good news and I'm in a good mood, then it's sunny outside. Like, you control the weather based off of your feeling, most definitely. At least for me. Now, another thing, I don't even know what number we're on, I lost track. But another thing is being an animal magnet. Let me tell you what, if you are attracted to animals, or you have a natural resonance with them, or you love being out in nature, or 10 to 1 you're gifted, like that your calling is nature. If, you know, you see a turtle on the side of the road, you know, most people will just run around it, hit it, whatever, which is really cruel to me because I'm a nature freak because I'm gifted. You know, if you stop and you take it off the side of the road, you're helping, you're healing, okay? Now, my whole family, hunters, big hunters. Now, they do the whole, hey dear, you wanna go hunting with me? Oh yeah, sure, whatever. Never intent in shooting on anything. If you thought that I was gonna kill something, you're out of your mind. But I'd go out and I'd listen to the trees and just be one with nature. Like, I would love watching the squirrels jump around in the leaves and whatnot. If you're calling, if you are truly happy out in nature, if you could go for a walk and change your whole demeanor out in nature, you're gifted. And that's a big one for me. If you're really good at taking care of animals, if you have a natural calling to any form of animal, if you're really good with dogs, cats, if you feel like you connect with animals, you're gifted. Cats are very important to gifted people. Now, cats have kind of like this bad history because of witches and harboring them and whatnot, but actually, cats will sense how you're feeling and purr to a certain vibration to help heal you. It's a well-known fact that purr, that vibration, affects you personally, whatever you need helped. Now, this is another huge one. I thought I was crazy, alright, when I first started experiencing this. Now, I think it's called deja vu. Most of the passages or whatever I read called it time travel. I'm not exactly sure if I want to put that cliche title out there as time travel. But, you know, I definitely had been doing things and then knew that I had already experienced them 110%. You know, whether it was going to the store and buying some almonds, I already knew that I had already done that, like, physically, already. And it's truly weird. Or, when I'm reading somebody, I'll, like, go back in my head, like, I'll, like, vision it and be like, oh, I already said this, didn't I? And they're like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, haven't I read you before? No. Haven't I seen you before? No. What does that mean, right? Or a lot of the times, it'll be like, I'll see and predict, not so good things sometimes, like I can see and predict, like, fights between people. I'm like, kind of like that friend that everybody goes to and they're like, well, what do you think about this person, or this, that, and the other, and I can be like, I don't think that this is such a good idea, but again, like, if they're meant to be on that path with that person in that healing cycle, like we talked before, like, that they're gonna do it, but in the end, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I told you so, because I already, like, seen that fight, or, witness things that I have already witnessed. Like, it's really hard to explain, but if you're gifted, then you already know what I'm talking about. Now, our last thing that I wanted to cover today is, if you can't sleep, and if you have nightmares or dreams about somebody. When you can't sleep, it means something. When you're having a dream, it means something. When you're having a nightmare, it means something. So, I'm just trying to think of some examples here. So, like I said earlier, can't sleep, depending on what hour you're waking up on, you know, if you're waking up 3 to 4 a.m., then that's most likely, you got someone visiting, you gotta do some, you gotta do some spiritual work with yourself, some spiritual healing. Like, if you're waking up at those times, like that's probably what you need. Alright, but if you're waking up at 2:22 in the morning, right? I mean, the vibration is still kind of there, but it's not as powerful as it would be in those hours. What do those numbers mean? If you're waking up every day at 2:15, what do those numbers mean? You know, and it could be anything, right? If you're waking up at 2:15 every day, it could be February 15th. Maybe something special is going to happen on February 15th. If you're gifted, nothing should ever go unnoticed. Nothing is a coincidence, especially if you're gifted and you can experience things of that nature. Nothing will ever be unnoticed with you. Because even if a heart-shaped leaf falls on the ground in front of you, you'll know exactly who that's from. Alright? And, at first you may, like, look over it and be like, oh, it was probably just, the wind blowing. Like, I just seen a shape, because we do shapes in kindergarten, and, like, right? No. As Grandpa sending you a hey, right? there's just so many things that I can cover. Like, but if you are spiritual and you really understand what I'm saying about the deja vu, the animal magnet, being attracted to nature, changing the weather, which is also nature, attracting strangers, your healing path, your path of other people experiences, waking up and, you know, drifting to that realm of communication, which is a really big thing, being an energy radar, being able to change, feel, explain different things, when someone's in a bad mood, good mood, whatever, and being empathic, that's one of the most obvious things. Now, the nightmares thing. What exactly is classified as a nightmare? Now, I'm not a sleep doctor. I can't exactly classify what's a nightmare. But I can say what I do believe is a sign and a symbol. Now, if I'm having a nightmare that I lost all my teeth, right? Then, you know, if you look it up, you know, because you should keep a journal of what your dreams are. Keep it right by your bed, wake up if you remember, write it down. You know, if I lost all my teeth, the internet says, well, you recently told a lie, which probably wasn't a good thing. Spirit's just saying, hey, you told a lie, like, whatever. You know, one time I had a nightmare about my family dying, like, in tragedy. And I looked it up, every, like, little detail and whatnot, and the most common thing was, you're afraid of losing them, right? Like, so it's depending on what you feel is depending on what you're gonna dream about. Just really pay attention. Like, that's the main thing that you should probably take away from this video, is just to pay attention on what's going on, because if you don't pay attention, then you're not gonna see signs and symbols, and you're not gonna grow spiritually. Now, so I think I covered just about everything that I wanted to in this video. If you liked it, go ahead, subscribe. If you haven't already, turn on post notifications. Go over and check out my podcast, which should be linked on my Facebook, and I'll link my Facebook. Because I'm not too techie, okay? Like this setup with the camera and the lights and whatnot, and this whole background and what should be appealing and what light goes where and whatnot. This took me like a week, okay? And literally today I figured out how to transport, to use the little chip thing that's in the computer into one of these adapter looking things to plug into my computer. I don't know where it went. So I'll probably spend the next 3 hours looking for that, because God only knows where that went here. But if you have any video suggestions, feel free to comment them, and you can always DM me on Instagram, Facebook, Darian Drucker Psychic, Dundee Coven House. If you look up my name, you should find me anywhere. There's not very many people who share my first and last name. So, you know, feel free to give me a like, comment. This is my first YouTube video, so please be nice, because I'm working on it, okay? Hopefully, the rest of my light setup will be in soon, and the microphone that I am getting for my camera, because right now I'm just using camera quality sound, which was, it's not horrible, right? But definitely could be better. So, enough of that. But I'll let you continue on with your day. Now that you get a little bit more information on what gifted people in this realm experience, you know. Go off, sis. Have fun. Alright, I think I'm done. Done for today. I'm gonna edit this and see if I can actually get it out in a few hours. So, you know, peace.